Hey there and welcome. My name is Andy O'Neill and I appreciate you watching this video. I create content on this channel to help businesses scale and automate their businesses. So recently, Sylvia of Travels by Trike, a YouTube channel that I follow because she and I are both actually recumbent trike riders, announced she's going to go on a 9,000 mile tour in 2023. This is 9,000 miles with no truck support. The only thing she's taking is her recumbent trike, no vehicle, no RV, nothing like that. So she is going to do these 9,000 miles solely with her recumbent trike. So this is a huge undertaking. I was really excited to see that she's going to do this. And so I reached out on her channel because she was going to, her route is going to take her down Route 66, which goes through my hometown of Springfield, Missouri, and it's going to go through, she's going to go through the Katy Trail, which is not far from where I live in Kansas City. So I got me thinking, hey, how can I reach out and tell you what cities that I'd like to meet you in? Hey, maybe go to lunch, maybe ride the trike with you, that'd be cool. So I sent this message on YouTube. And my question is, are you making a list of people who live in cities along your tour route? I'm in Kansas City and from Springfield, Missouri. Would love to ride part of the Katy with you. That's the Katy Trail. Would also recommend riding the Frisco Trail north from Springfield to the Katy Trail in Clinton, Missouri. So I gave her kind of some insider knowledge of a trail that she could use to get from Springfield up here to Kansas City, or at least part of the way. But my main question was, how can I let you know where I live and where, what cities we could meet up in? And so she says, fantastic. Yes, I wish there was a way to keep track of where people live. This has been a problem since my first tour. Okay, when I read something like that, I say,
A few moments later.
This is a problem I can solve. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build Sylvia an app that she could theoretically use to gather names of people along her route as she travels her tour. And when she gets close to Joplin, Missouri or Springfield, Missouri, she can go to this app and say, hey, I'm going to reach out to some of these people and say, hey, I'm getting ready to show up in Springfield. Let's have breakfast. Let's go ride some, whatever it is. Because one of the cool things that Sylvia does on her travels is she finds other people that ride trikes and she rides with them. And actually, I don't think they have to ride a trike. They just want to go out and ride and spend time with this amazing lady. So I'm going to show you in real time. I'm literally not going to cut unless my kids start crying or something. I might cut that out, but I'm not going to cut anything out. I'm going to show you how to build this app start to finish.
Many minutes later.
Here's a preview of the app I'm going to build in this video. This video is going to capture names and personal information of people who might want to ride with Sylvia along her tour that's coming up in 2023, her 9,000 mile recumbent trike tour. In this form will collect people from different states. So for example, if you live in Missouri and you want to meet up with her in Springfield to ride, you can fill out this form and it will collect that information for her. For Sylvia, she can go to this screen. This is a login screen that only she can access. And you can see here is a list of the cities along her tour. Now, there are more cities along her tour than shown here, but these are a few that I've put in. And you can see in Missouri and Springfield, Missouri, somebody has said, hey, they want to ride with her. So I go here and you can actually see this would be a table and a list of people who are interested in meeting Sylvia in the Springfield, Missouri area while she is on her tour. This app also has an option to manage the cities for the tour. So you go right here and let's say she's going to go through Houston, Texas. I'm going to scroll down here. You can scroll down to Texas. You can just type Texas right there. And you can type Houston and hit submit. And now we've added that city to her tour. So if we go back here to manage contacts and look at our available cities, actually, let's go back to join the tour. Here's the public forum that people can see. And if they go to Texas, and now I have the list of cities. Here's Houston, San Antonio. So here are the cities from Texas, and that's what this view does. Is it filters and shows you only the cities for the state you've chosen. If I change that to Arizona, you'll see these cities here. So this is the form that I've built that would support Sylvia along her 9,000 mile 2023 recumbent Trike tour, so she could collect contact information of people who say, hey, I want to meet you on your tour. Reach out when you get close, and I don't know, we'll buy you breakfast, buy you lunch, maybe ride a ways with you, and just get to know you a little bit better. So keep watching this video to see exactly how I built this app. So I have already created a brand new Knack account, and if you go knack.com, that's where you can create it. Now, if you will look in the description of this video, I've dropped an affiliate link for Knack. It won't cost you anything more. It just gives me a little bit of kickback. So if you really love this video and you're getting introduced to Knack for the first time and start using it, I would appreciate it greatly if you would use that affiliate link, and that just helps me out a little bit. Clean up a tab here. All right, so I've created an app. So let me go back out here to the main screen. When you log into Knack, here's the list of your apps. And so what I did is I created create app, start an app from scratch, and I gave it a name. And that's basically where I'm at now. So I called it Travels by Trike, which is the name of Sylvia's YouTube channel. And now I'm going to build it. So let me show you. I made some notes here for me. Skip through my stuff there. All right. So I'm going to create some record objects. I'll talk about that in a second. But what I want to do is I want to track the states she's going through. I want to track the cities she's going through. And we're going to do a really cool thing on the sign up form to where when you pick a state, you'll only see the cities for that state. So it's like a conditional drop down. And then we're going to have a place for the tour contacts to sign up. Name, email, mobile phone, comments. We're going to track what date it was submitted, and then we're going to I'm going to take that out. That's something I decided not to show on this, just to keep it a little more simple. And what that was is down the road, if Sylvia plans to do more of these large tours, really there should be a tour, like all these contacts are assigned to a tour, but really these could be reused, and if she goes through a city again that she's already toured through, those people probably still live there. So I'm going to kind of skip that just to keep things simple. And then on the pages side, we're going to have a sign-up form. So people like me can go and say, hey, I live in Missouri and I want to meet you in Springfield when you ride through there, that kind of thing. So it'll sort people by where they want to meet her. Maybe they live within driving range of a couple cities she's going to go through. They could sign up for both of those cities. And I'm going to have a sign-up form, and then I'm going to have a place where she can manage all of this for the cities. So the first thing I'm going to do here is we have records. So the two things we're going to be looking at is our records and our pages. The pages are the places we go to interact, on the web for this, and the records is where our data is stored. Seem to have a little error here. Nope, it's okay. All right, so I think we're good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my first object, and I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it states. All right, so there's a little message. Yes, I know how to use Knack. Those might be helpful to you if you're brand new. You might want to read those, but I've done this before. So state name, I'm going to rename that to state name, and this is required, and it must be unique. The reason I'm going to check that is I don't want anybody to enter California or Missouri or Utah twice. We want the states to be unique, and as long as they're spelled correctly, that would be the case. All right, so now I'm going to go back over here to records. Got it. All right, sorry, right up here, I'm going to add object. And just a note, I am using this in dark mode. If you use it without dark mode, it'll be much brighter, but for my eyes, it's just easier. I'm going to do tour cities. And you know what? I meant to name states tour states. So I'm going to show you how to fix that right here. Settings. I'll call that tour states. While we're in settings, I'll show you here the display field. Obviously, we only have one field in this case, but I want to show the state name alphabetically A to Z. And then on tour cities, I'm going to go to settings, and I want to I want to show the tour city's name A to Z. That's perfect. All right, so we're going to add something else here. We're going to add our first connection from tour cities to state because, for example, Springfield, Missouri is connected to, Springfield is connected to Missouri. Joplin is connected to Missouri. Tulsa is connected to Oklahoma City. So we're going to make a connection between our cities and our states. All right, so I'm going to go over here and click Add Connection, and I'm going to connect to state. I'm going to hit Next. And this is going to say each tour city connects with one tour state. Yes, that makes total sense. And we're going to say each tour state connects with many cities. Yeah, a state can have many cities in it. So this is going to be a one-to-many connection. We're going to add that connection. And I kind of like to organize my connections at the top of my record list here, or fields list. So I have tour cities, and let me go over here to my list. All right, so we have our state connection, city name, count of contacts. Count of contacts we can't add yet because we need to add our tour contacts objects first. So we're going to go over here and create a new object, tour contacts. All right, so what we want to do is we want to add a connection to states. So each tour contact connects with one state, each state with many. Yep, it's another one-to-many. One-to-many is very common when you're building Knack things like this, but there are times when you might use a many-to-many as well. I'm just going to get rid of that field for now. All right, so I have a connection to my state. Now I want to add a connection to my city. That is also one-to-many. And now let's look at the fields. I want name, email, phone. So I'm going to click Add Fields. Go down here to, I think it's called Personal. Yep, name. Let's say your name. That is going to be a required field. Right now I'm just going to do first, last. You have options to do title, last, first, middle, last, that kind of thing. We're just going to do first, last for this. Keep it simple. Email. I'm going to say your best email address. I'm going to click required. And then phone. I'm going to say mobile phone. Because as Sylvia gets close, she may need to call or text somebody. So I want this mobile phone to be in here so that it's handy for her to do that. All right, we don't need to include an extension, and so that is good right there. Check my fields. Oh yeah, comments, notes, and date submitted. So we're going to add another field up here. That is a paragraph text. Comments, notes. And I want to make that required because we want people to say, hey, I'd like to ride with you, or I'll buy you breakfast, or, if you get a flat tire, call me and I'll come help you change it. Whatever. I mean, we want Sylvia to know exactly how these people want to interact with her as she gets in their area. And then I'm going to add a date field. Go find the date right here. Now I'm going to make this required. This is going to be the submitted date time. I just want to keep track of when people submitted this information. So right down here, and you can put a description for this. Let me show. I'll put a description. I'll show you what that looks like in the builder. This will track when people signed up. So my date format, that's what I want. My default date, I'm going to do current date, and I'm actually going to pick my and current time. So what that means is when a record is created by default, it's going to add the current date and current time. And nobody has to do that. I'm not going to put this on the form. I'm not going to show it to anybody. It's just in the background going to track when that person created that contact. And then right here, you see this little I thing. When you hover over that, it says this will track when people signed up. So that's that message right here I put in the description. Kind of a handy thing. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to Tour Cities, and I'm going to add this count of contacts field. So we're going to have contacts that are connected to a tour or a city and a state. And actually, I can actually do this for both. It'll be kind of fun. I'm just going to use it for the city. But we're going to add a field, and we're going to do a count of city contacts. And right here, the connection to count is tour contacts. There's only one connection on this object, so that's the only one we can choose. So what this means is when connected contacts get added to this city, it's going to take a count of them. So it's going to say, 20 people have signed up for Oklahoma City, 15 in Tulsa, 9 in Joplin, 30 in Springfield, that kind of thing. It's going to show how many people have signed up on that top level. And then just for fun, we'll add that to state as well. Oops, back over here on fields. So we have fields and records. All right, right now I'm dealing with the field sides of things. Add a field, and I'm going to do a count of state contacts. All right, and I want to do tour contacts. So this is going to count the number of tour contacts connected to this state. All right, so we'll scroll down here, hit add field. All right, so we'll look at my notes here. And just keep in mind, I am a couple things about building this. I have already built this app once before. I built it as kind of a test to see what it would look like. So I am not figuring out how to build this. And I've used Knack since 2013, almost 10 years now. So if you're like, man, he's going fast, this is a skill that you'll learn over time, but I'm going to show you how to use it. If nothing else, I would just follow this video and build this app again, just so you can go start to finish and see how it works. All right, so back to my records. All right, tour states. Here's what I want to do. There it is. All right. So I have a Google Sheet that I created here. It was a Google Sheet and I downloaded it. And here are some cities that I created. And this is not for Sylvia's entire tour. These are just some states along the way. And I actually spelled California wrong, which was really awesome. So I'm going to fix that. Oops. Copy, paste. Yes. Paste. Yes. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do in Knack is I'm going to take and create these states. All right. So I'm going to let me move this over here. There we go. All right. I'm going to add a record, and I'm going to say California. Add another record, Arizona. These are the states that Route 66, historic Route 66, travels through. Oklahoma. I don't believe these are all the states. I think it goes into Illinois, but these are the ones that I'm for sure that Sylvia is going to be traveling on. Okay, so now we have, if I refresh this page, I should get my states in alpha order. Yep, I do. And that's what we specified up here in our settings. State name alphabetically from A to Z. So that's perfect. Now, I'm going to go to cities. And I'm actually going to import this CSV file. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to import. Here's my Trike. All right. So I went and retrieved my file, and you can see here's the data in my file. Does the first row of your data contain column headers? Yes, I have state and city. So I'm going to say yes, hit next. Do you want to update? Nope, insert each row as a new record. All right, so tour state, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say state, and then this is a connection. So what I have to do here is say which tour state field matches the state column. So it's going to be state name. And what if no match is found? Skip it. I've created them all in there, but you can actually have it create a record if it's not showing up. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. I'm going to map tour cities to city. Now what I've said is my first column is going to map to my connection field, and the second one is going to create a city. So if I hit next, and I'm going to start import. All right, you can see that, let's see, import happened. I have a little issue here. I think I misspelled California yet again, and I did. So I'm just going to do that, click California. All right, so I'm going to connect this to California and this to California. All right. Okay, so now our data is in good shape, and it's really set up for getting started to go build our pages. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over here to pages, and I'm going to add my first page. And I want this page to be public. This is the page where people are going to come and sign up and say, hey, I want to meet you in, Tucson, Arizona, or, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or whatever. So this is going to be public. I'm going to hit continue. Join the tour. I'll call it the join the tour page. Add that page. All right. Now with Make, you're going to add, with Knack. This is not Make, this is Knack. You're going to add what are called views. So a view is a form or a table, a search, a list, a calendar, that kind of thing. Well, in this case, we want a form for people to sign up on. So I'm going to click form here. And what I want to capture is tour contacts. All right, so that dropped my fields in here. And I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to say join the tour. I'm going to add that form. All right, so right up here, I'm going to edit my field. So I'm going to go to settings, because I don't want to add, I want a different name for that here. Let's see, go to my notes. And I'm going to call that Meet Sylvia. Meet Sylvia along her 9,000 mile 2023 tour. And then I'm going to change join the tour. So my submit button will be called join the tour. All right, so I have my tour state here. Those are our states, and we want all the states to show up here. On tour city, what I want to do here is I want to say the tour city is connected to this form's tour state. So what that means is somebody's going to pick a state, and then they're only going to see those cities connected to that state. So that way, somebody doesn't sign up for Tucson, Oklahoma, or, something weird like that. So I want to hit save. And then I'm going to say under tour state, I'm going to put a little note here that says, please select a state before selecting a city. Just put some notes there. All right, so I want to go over here to go to live app. And here's going to be the live app. Travels by Trike, this is just the, turn on my, there we go. Travels by Trike is the heading. We can change the heading color. That's just default. I'm not going to mess with that right now and go into the settings. So what I do, here's my states. So I'm going to pick Missouri. And then when I go to Tour City, I see Joplin, Carthage, and Springfield. Those are my options. All right. So if I go back here and change this to Arizona, now here are my Arizona cities: Flagstaff, Holbrook, and Oatman. So that's how that filtering works. When you pick city and you say tour cities connected to this form's tour state. So when the form state is selected, that filters. Now, if I don't have a state selected, I also don't get any cities because my state isn't selected. So the first thing you have to do is connect that state or select that state. Go to Oklahoma. Now we have, I don't have any Oklahoma cities. Let's try New Mexico. All right, so let's go look at our data for Oklahoma. So I should have Tulsa and Catoosa and Veneta for Oklahoma. Just troubleshooting this a little bit. Yeah, there's only one Oklahoma in our database. Oops, let's see. Oklahoma. Just zoom down a little bit. There we go. Oklahoma. All right, let's go back over here. Let's do a little hard refresh on this page. Just want to make sure that's working. Should be working just fine. There we go. Clinton, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Catoosa, and Veneta. So, yeah, those are working just fine. So what's going to happen here is people are going to sign up. And have I submitted date and time here? So what that means is when I created my form, it added all the fields by default. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to delete that. All right. I'm going to hit save. And what that means is the field isn't there, but it's still going to capture the time the person submitted. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say Missouri. And I can actually meet her in Joplin, Carthage, or Springfield. So I'm going to fill this out a couple times. All right, so just put a fake phone number in there. I'd like to meet and ride along Route 66. All right, so I'm going to click join the tour. And so what happened here is this, it automatically collapsed the form. So let's go back. I don't really like that. So let's go back over here and let's look at rules and let's look at submit rules. All right. So right down here, it says, show a confirmation message, form successfully submitted, and show a link to reload the form. Well, I don't want to show a link to reload the form. I just want it to reload. So I'm going to click automatically reload the form. I'm going to say thanks for joining the tour. So I can change that confirmation message. All right, so I'm going to refresh this page. So we get our new changes here. And then I'm going to pick tour state is Missouri again. This time I'm going to pick Springfield. And what I just did there, I didn't show this the last time. I used Text Expander. So for this particular email address, I hit @K and it enters my KansasCityBikeTrails.com email address, which is a site that I maintain about bike trails here in Kansas City. But that's what I just did there. It just saves typing out that big long URL. All right, let's see, 816. Again, not a real phone number. Comment notes. I'd like to meet and ride with you on the Frisco Trail north of Springfield to Bolivar. All right, so that's a trail there. I've ridden it before. It goes from Springfield to Bolivar, and it gets her north up where she can get on the Katy Trail and ride that. So I'm going to click join the tour. All right, so you can see, thanks for joining the tour. Here's my message, and my form is not collapsed. So that's what I wanted it to do. Now, what we need to do is, great. We have these submissions that I've said, hey, I want to meet you along the way, Sylvia. How is she supposed to see these? Well, we want these behind a login. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create a new page, and it's going to be a login page. All right, so this is going to be manage contacts. I'm going to add a page. And there's an option with Knack to have different user levels. So maybe I could have if this app were to evolve, maybe a contact person could log in and change their information, update their information so it's current, that kind of thing. That would be like a user role for a contact, but then there'd be a user role for like an admin. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to have one set of logins. If Sylvia does use this, and I'd love to, kind of gift this to her and help her, use this with her tour, then there'd probably be 2 logins. There'd be one for her and maybe one for me so that I could help her if needed, or it could just be for her and she's the only one that can log in and see this data. So what I'm going to do here, so this is my login page. What I want to do is I want to create a button, and I'm going to link to a new page. All right, and this new page is going to be manage tour cities. CITIES. There we go. All right, so manage tour cities. I'm going to have some fun here and add an icon, a little map marker, and I'm going to hit save changes. So what I've just done is I've created a page down here. So when you click this link, you're going to go to this manage tour cities page. And I'm going to wait to build that out for just a second. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to put a heading up here. Let me go back to my notes. All right, so I'm going to add a title, manage tour cities, and I'm going to do a subtitle here. Actually, I'm not going to put that there because that's instructions for the table. So I'm going to copy that to my clipboard, but wait on that. Yes, save and continue. All right, so let's go look at, first of all, I need to go to users, and I need to create a way for me to log into this app. Now, I am logged into like the master Knack account builder. What I'm doing now is creating a record so I can log into the Knack app we are building. So, Andy, oops, it entered, didn't mean to do that. User stack is active, user role. We don't have any user roles, so I don't need to add a user role. That's where I was talking about earlier, where you might have people with different permissions. That's where you would do that. So I'm going to hit submit. All right, now I have a user. Now I can go over to this. Let me go back to pages. We go to the page I want, and then go to live app. We're going to do. I use Dashlane for password management. It's amazing. That's all I'll say about that. Go sign up for Dashlane. All right. So now I'm on my page. You can see logged in as Andy O'Neill. My account settings, I can go update my email address, change my password, or I can log out. And then I have 2 tabs up here at the top. Join the tour, which is our public page, and manage contacts. What I want to do is I want Sylvia to be able to come in here and click on a city and see the contacts for that city. So I'm going to go to table. You get to see my mistakes and everything on this video. I want tour cities. So, yep, tour cities. All right, that's what I want. Now, you see you have Arizona, 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 California, California, California. I don't want it to look like that, so I'm actually going to go in here. I'm going to click on the state, and I will say group records based on this value. And what that's going to do is it's going to group those, and I want them A to Z, that's right. It's going to group those so where there's a heading, let me refresh this. There's a heading that says Arizona, and under that are the states, okay? And then I have a heading for California and Missouri and states. Now, count of city contacts, these are all 0, but right under here, if you look under Missouri, we have 1 contact that is signed up for Joplin and Springfield. That's me, because I signed up, said, hey, I want to do that. So she can see exactly how many people have signed up for each city. So let's go back and tweak this table a little bit. I'm going to call this first column state and city, because they're kind of on top of each other. So I'm going to say state, city. I'm going to click here and count of contacts, rename that. And I'll do one more thing here. I want to be able to click and go to a page that shows the details, the contacts of this city. So I can do that 2 ways. If I add columns and I click action, I want to view record details. All right, so I can, let me save that. And this is personal preference, what I'm about to show you. There. I can have, here's my Arizona, here's my cities, and then I can have a view button over here. But what I prefer to do is have, Oatman, Flagstaff, Holbrook, I want those to be the link. So when I click on Oatman, rather than going here to click on a link that says View City or something that's really generic. So let me show you how to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete my city field. I deleted state. That's all right. Let me put state back in here. There we go. State. Count of contacts. I'm gonna keep this view. So what I like to do is say view details. And then my link type can be text. I can say click here to view. All right, that's an option. Or I can choose a field and I can say tour city name. Now my link to see the view, the details, is the city name. Isn't that cool? I like that a lot better than just having a random link that says view. So go back here. I need to group those again because I accidentally deleted them. Now I'm going to add one more thing here. Under actions, I'm going to do delete record. So I'm going to put an option here to delete this. Delete city. I'm going to add an icon. And if you type remove or start typing remove, you'll get an X. That's the one I like to use for delete. So delete city. And let's go back out here and look at our table again. All right. So now I have my link that goes to my detail page. Okay. So we're going to work on that detail page in a second. And then I have a link to delete city. And if you click it, it'll ask you to make sure. I'm going to hit cancel. But here's the thing. I don't want these cities to be deleted because they have people connected to them. So I'm going to go do a rule to make that disappear when there's contacts. So let me show you how to do that. I edit this column, scroll down here, and I'm going to add a display rule. All right. So if count of city contacts is higher than 0, so if it's one or more, I'm going to say hide the value. So that means for these where I have one record, it's going to hide this delete city option. I'm going to hit save there. Let's go take a look at that. All right, scroll down here. Oh, looky there. I can't delete the city for Joplin, Carthage, or Springfield because we have contacts. All of these other cities can be deleted, but not that. All right, so let's click on, actually, let's go back. Let's click on one that has some contacts. Oops. Let's click on Springfield. All right, we're on the Springfield, Missouri page. Now what we want to do, we want to show all the contacts on this page that have responded and say, hey, I live near Springfield. I want to meet you on your tour. So what we're going to do is, the easiest way to get to that, and make sure you get to the right page. Sorry about that. Is right here. So we have Oatman, and it's like, okay, when I click on that, I want to navigate to this page. All right, so right here. So this is the typical way to show this. I'm actually going to remove count of cities because that'll be in the table below. And I really don't like how this is showing up. I wanted to say Albuquerque, comma, New Mexico in big type here at the top. So I'm going to hit save. I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to go back to our records and we're going to go to our tour cities and fields. All right. So I'm going to go add field, text formula. I'm going to call this field city, comma, state. And right down here, this is a text formula where I can combine HTML, I can combine different fields together. So I'm going to create a field where it has the tour city name, comma, space, state. State name. So this is connected to our state. I'm put state name right there. Okay. So let me scroll down. Let me hit add field. Go to records. And now look at this. Amarillo, Texas, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I love how that looks. Let's go back to our page. And I'm actually going to get rid of this. I'm going to go over here to our city state field. Click on that. I want to not have I don't want to have any kind of label. I'm going to make that like an H1. And then I'm going to go up here to my settings. And I'm going to call this, actually, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to get rid of that heading. I'm going to go back to my object. Go back to my field. I'm going to click here and I'm going to say city details for. I've just typed that in city details for. It's going to show the state or the city and the state. Look at my records. Yes, city details for Albuquerque, New Mexico. I love that. All right. All right, there we go. So there is our heading. So if I go back over here and I refresh this page, it should at the top say city details for Springfield, Missouri. Yes, there we go. Sorry, I get a little excited about this stuff. It's fun. I'm going to add a view. I'm going to put a table. Now I want tour contacts. Now, I only want tour contacts. All right, tour contacts connected to this page's tour city. Or the same tour state connected. Yeah, I don't want that. I want this page's tour city. So what this is doing is it's saying, I'm going to only show you contacts for the tour city you're on. All right, we're going to hit continue. Continue. Add table. Let's go back over here and take a look at this. Refresh. All right, so city details of Springfield, Missouri. This is where I signed up. Now, I don't have Springfield showing. I'm gonna do that real quick. Just so add columns, tour city. Let's bring that back over here. Hit save. Just to verify this is working right, which I'm certain it is. Yep, tour city. So I'm in. This is the contact that I signed up for Springfield, Missouri. Like to meet and ride with the Frisco Trail. Yep. So there's that. Now, tour state and tour city, that's kind of, I really don't need that because it's up here at the top. So I'm going to go back to my table, click on my table, get rid of state, get rid of city. You're not getting rid of any records or anything. You're just not showing that. And I've got name, email address, mobile phone, comments, and then I'm going to add submitted date. Just to shorten that to submitted. Let's go refresh that. All right, city details for Springfield, Missouri. Name, email, phone, comments, and this is when it came in. Very cool. Okay, now what I'm going to do, make that a little more usable for Sylvia. Go to my settings. I'm going to leave the keywords. So the keyword search here is where you could type somebody's name or something. The filter is probably not super helpful because it's just, there's not much data on this. So I'm going to turn the filter off. Right down here, filter options. Don't allow records to be filtered. I'm going to leave the search on, but then what I'm going to turn on is record exporting, and I'm going to turn on inline editing. I'm going to show you why. All right, so I'm going to refresh here. So here's my search keyword. I can type Andy. I mean, it wouldn't help right now, but I can type that. So what Sylvia could do is she could hit export on this page and then import then to MailChimp or whatever she sends emails as. To her followers, and she could send up, if there's 50 people that sign up, she could send an email out and say, hey, I'm going to be here at this time, bring your trike, let's ride. Or she could send she could text somebody or use a texting platform to text a group of people. That inline editing, what that does is it lets her make edits here. So let's say I, misspelled my name. She could actually go in here and edit that. Or she could, let's say I accidentally submitted my email address like that. Well, that's obviously an error. And she could actually just click on that, fix that, hit enter. And so, we could build a whole nother page to edit this record, but it's pretty easy just to do, that right here. She could even go in here and add her own notes. Sounds like a good route to take. So she could make a little note, that it's her responding, and this Frisco Trail north of Springfield sounds like a good idea. So she could make a little note in there. The submitted, it doesn't make sense for submitted to be edited, so I'm going to go show you how to turn that off. Go right over here, and under that field settings, allow inline editing. No, because we don't want to change that, because that is when this record was created, and we want to leave that so it can't be edited. All right, that can't be edited, but these still can. So that's the gist of this page. Again, she can hit export and choose CSV, and then drop this down into her computer and upload it to a texting solution or an email marketing solution. Let's go back to our main page here. Now we have this manage tour cities we still need to fix. This is really going to be the last thing we're going to mess with. So I'm going to go here to my manage tour cities page, and I'm going to add a view, and I'm going to add a form. This is where Sylvia could add, she obviously knows the cities she's going to be going through much better than I do. So this is where she could add those cities. So what record will this form submit? Show options to add a new record. Okay, we don't want to update, we want to add. So we want to add a tour city. Hit OK. Now, first thing we're going to do on tour state is we're going to say, I want to say interstate. And right now we have 4 or 5 states in the database. So she might need to add, Oregon or Michigan or something like that. So what we want to do is we're going to say add users to create new records, allow users to create new records to choose. So I'm going to hit save, just show you what that looks like. Go to this page, and it's just going to be where we enter a state name. So let's go back over here, hit F5. Now, again, 1, 2, 3, so there's 6 states in here, and let's say she needs Michigan. Well, Michigan's not here. What she would do is she would click this right here. And assuming I spelled that right, now we have Michigan in our list. Okay. Let's say she's going to be going through Oregon. Hopefully I spelled that right. I think I did. Now we have Oregon. So now she can create, like Portland, and hit submit, and she's got Portland, Oregon. Now if we go back out here, we can scroll down. Now we have Portland, Oregon as an option in our cities. Okay. Now there's a couple things I didn't like about this form. First thing is, let's go back here. Back a page. Yeah, save. All right, first thing I want to do is I want to go to rules and submit rules, and I want to automatically reload the form. So she might need to add, multiple. She's looking at a map, and I'm going to add, 15, 20 cities at a time. And I want to say city added. All right. So let's refresh our page. And let's go to Oregon. And let's go to Texas. I know more cities in Texas. All right. Hit enter. City added. And now our form is cleared out and is ready to submit another city state. And so if we go back here to manage contacts, if we go find Texas, now we have Houston. All right. So I don't think she's going to Houston. So I'm going to hit delete city, hit OK, and then that's going to refresh. And now Houston is gone from Texas. So you can see how that is really easy to manage. And so we have managed tour cities and then our tour cities here. And so so we have 18 cities so far. And so this is really ready to go. We're at, my timer on my video is 51 minutes, and we have built a totally functional app. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you taking time to look at this. If you are interested in Knack projects or building with Knack, I would invite you to reach out to me. I'd be welcome to talk to you about that and help you automate and scale your business with an app like this. As you can see, I think is very flexible, but something that can be done that really tailors to your unique situation to help your business. Hope you hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.